Hey, so a lot of SaaS founders are asking me, these sorts of questions. They're saying, "Hey, look, I have 0 customers. I'm really focused on development right now, and I need to finish some features before I can actually launch." Now, this is something that a lot of people come to me and ask about. Right? Check this out. We have server issues. I'm interested, but I'm just not able to work on growing right now. We can't promote it without solving X problem, right? For you, whatever problem that is, maybe you're working on some internal server thing, whatever it is, you're not launching. So we have a concept called launch first, build later, and this is to get product market fit as soon as you possibly can. Now, typically with a technical founder, they have a few certain hangups when it comes to growing, right? There's the fear of failure. You want to impress people. You want to show people, hey, look, I have a product. I'm actually getting product market fit. I'm actually making money with this, right? It's not just me in my basement building the whole time, right? So you want to actually get users on board. Now, 2, you want to build a great app. But what is the process of building a great app, right? I brought up this picture from the social network just because I think it's interesting and how it fits with this, right? They built something just for themselves. Facebook was just kind of a one-off thing for Zuckerberg, in college. And he was doing this because he actually had a want and need for this. And he thought it would be a good idea for himself and his friends, right? He wanted it. It wasn't because he was trying to go to market and make some big product here. There was a different idea behind it, right? And it found a product market fit very quickly, right? They shipped it when it was pretty terrible. And in this thesis, I believe that you don't even have to have the app in place before you launch it. Now, I'm not saying scam people, never build the app. What I'm saying is you can find out if it's worth building before you even launch it. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, typically, when a SaaS founder or when a technical person, say a programmer, developer, is building an app, they do a couple of things, right? This is what I see happen with a lot of the people that we've worked with. They fall back into old habits. And what type of old habits? You get in your head. You say, hey, look, this is really frustrating. Maybe they stop working on it, right? It gets frustrating. You're not actually making progress. You've got 0 users. Maybe it's been a year. Maybe it's been 5 years. You've been working on an app, right? Now, on the other side, they try a new idea. They're like, hey, cool. All right, that didn't work. Well, why don't I just try a new app? Obviously, this is not the right market, right? This is not the right time. I'm ahead of my time. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, right? So they pivot, okay? Another one here is most people will then jump back in and say, hey, look, you know what? I need to find bugs. I need to unit test. I'm going to sit down tonight and make another 10 unit tests to make sure that the app is so good that when I finally launch, everybody's going to know how good this app is. But that doesn't make any sense. They launch and there are 0 users. You have nobody to launch to. Maybe you spend 6 months to build your app. Maybe you spend 3 years, right? How infuriating is it when you sit there and you have nobody actually using the app? Like, that's crazy. So another old habit that people come to is they want faster or more efficient apps, right? They want to say, hey, look, we can do the process in 30 seconds. Why don't I do it in 20? How can I make it even better? Because they assume that their original idea is so good that of course users are going to come to the app, right? It's that assumption. You think building a great app is going to get your users, right? It doesn't mean you get users, right? That's the key difference, right? We don't actually guarantee ourselves users by just saying you built a great app, right? Some apps, there are probably much better apps out there that just never had the marketing, and those apps, are just gone. We don't know about them because they died too early. So that's the concept here. And let me explain, what happens once you start going back down these old habits, right? Does it allow you to compound time? What do I mean by that? We all have a limited time to work on software, etc., to build your company. And I don't know about you, but I would rather be focusing on things of how to build the business, right? Actually increase revenue, build a business that makes enough money for, myself and my family, for you to figure out how you can retire your loved ones, etc., and do things that you want to do. Maybe it's buy a nice car or, whatever. Maybe you just want a lifestyle SaaS and live comfortably, right? Whatever that is, you want to leverage your time so that you're not in here just doing customer requests, just fixing bugs, etc., right? So doing this does not allow you to compound time. And to illustrate this, right, the most important thing we have is really our focus on our ability to sit down and do tasks effectively, right? So some people will sit down for an hour with 1 unit of focus and they could write 1 page of a book, right? 1 hour, maybe it's 500 words, something like that. Now say someone else who has more focus, 2 units of focus for that same hour of time could write 2 pages of book. Maybe 4 times the focus, they write 3 pages or 4 pages, right? So you can see that if you have this one skill, if you're able to focus on the right things, then you'll be able to scale. But then the question becomes, Dan, I know the question in your mind is, what are you focused on, right? What is the thing that matters? Well, I'm going to tell you something crazy. It's actually not going to be building a great app, right? Building a great app is, if you think about it at its core, it's quite simple. Building a great app is you just have an idea. You have an idea of a solution to a problem. Okay, right? Any business is just a solution to a specific problem for a specific person. So you have to remember that, right? So this is what I used to recommend doing, right? You build a bare bones beta, right? Go to market, you launch it, you get some users, you get some feedback, okay? Then once you have some feedback, then you can develop a in-depth solution. You develop a depth-based monetization structure for B2C, right? Self-serve model. This is, say a Dropbox or, say a Slack. The more users you have on, the more you're going to pay. And then you make some small money like upfront, right? And then as you grow, you identify the sticky features, the things that make people stick around and continue to use the platform. And then you double down on that, right? And then you iterate this, get more users, continue to develop, etc. Right? Once you've got the depth-based pricing model, once you've hit a few thousand users, then you can launch that, right? And now you can focus on a great product. Depth-based pricing, you can just keep this actually as a standard pricing. But honestly, this whole method, like what I outline here, is honestly even outdated. In 2024, what I'm seeing work even better is you don't build the bare bones data at all. What you build is simply a offer page, okay? And usually I don't say like, hey, let's make a SaaS, like let's make a website. Actually, I typically recommend to not build a website till later, okay? The reason being is because most people that start a SaaS, and this is important, I did the same mistake. You make a website, you get something just for your ego, just so you look like a real business. You look like you're actually doing this. And then guess what? Your offer changes, you pivot, you do something else. And then the $3,000, the $7,000 you spent building out a nice website is now out the window because you have to redo it. It has to all make sense. And then you retroactively fit everything. And then it's this whole chaotic nonsense. Okay. We have people in our program right now that have hit 10K per month without a website. I'll say that one more time. There are people we are working with that have passed 10K a month with their SaaS that do not have a website at all and don't really plan on having one, okay? So don't focus on that. What I want you to say, though, is the website you build, the site you build, is an offer page. It's not a typical, here's our pricing, here's about us, here's what I like to do, and go on walks with my dog on the beach. What this is an offer page. So what do you have on an offer page? You have a headline. So let's just extend this out. What problem do you solve for who? In what time frame? Right? And then you have a subheadline. I'll just do this below. Subheadline. And in here, you're going to write exactly what is the way you do that. What is your method? What is your unique method? Why are you different? Okay? Why should they take you seriously? Okay. So the offer page is super important because now you've got this, and then lastly, you could either have an image or a VSL, right? And this is super, super simple, but this is going to help you verify the product. This is what didn't happen up here, right? If you build a great app, you just decided it was a great app, right? This is your mind, what you think a great app is, okay? But down here, you are now testing in the market, right? Now, all of a sudden, you have a test A, okay? So at this point, I think the lights should be going off. The light bulb should be firing in your brain right now. Look, you've got this, and then what you do, go over here, do a test B. You want to A/B test this thing, do the exact same thing over on the second page, okay? If test A doesn't work, if you don't get any signups, right? No, that's the last thing here. Yep, we want to have a sign up or pay now, right? Now, what's the reason? How can you're like, Dan, this is crazy. People are actually going to pay for your SaaS now. This is actually a way to build, right? People vote with their dollars on if their idea is good or not, right? If your SaaS is worth money, people are willing to pay. No problem, right? It seems obvious. So if you need a lot of money, a lot of time to develop this thing, let's say you're still working another job and you want to justify moving into doing that SaaS, you can say, hey, look, I need 3 months to build this thing. I'm collecting money to build it right now. By pre-ordering the software, you will get early access. You will get grandfathered in at a lower price in the future. Maybe you'll get a yearly, like a lifetime deal, like a 1-year license or something, maybe a lifetime deal, whatever you want to do, right? Make it so easy for them to decide, hey, look, I'm going to spend $400 on this software that you're building. Maybe you started building, maybe you haven't even finished yet, right? But by doing so, you are then able to go in, collect money up front, build out the software, have the time and money and focus to build it. You're not like, oh, I have to work my job and I have to do this and I have to take care of my kids. It's all of that stuff you're able to focus in, spend time actually on building the software so that later on you actually are able to scale, right? You've won back your time. You're able to actually focus on this. You've justified it. So at this point, you've verified it. You've collected money, right? And when you're able to collect cash on the offer, right? This means you've counted votes, you've seen if it actually works. Now, this doesn't work for everyone, right? Not all SaaS companies can do this and pull this off effectively, but as a bootstrap founder, this is a really great way to find product market fit, okay? Product market fit meaning people are actually willing to pay for this thing. And most of the time, I will say 95% of the time, people have no idea if the market's willing to pay. And if they do know it's going to pay, it's because they're copy pasting someone else's idea. So the truly innovative things that come to the market, the truly innovative softwares that I've seen actually follow this structure. I've seen this work and gotten multiple companies past 10K MRR in a very short period of time, right? They launch, build it out, take a few months to build it. And then when they actually launch, not only do they have an email list, they have paying subscribers that are ready to use the software and give them great feedback because they feel special for getting in on it early, right? Being part of the journey, being part of the build in public, all right? So I hope this is valuable to you. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you want to join a community, jump on, see some one-on-one, join a call with me, speak about your SaaS and see like what you can do to scale in the future. We have a school community and you can check that out for free. I'm not trying to sell you anything, just free value. There's also about 30 modules in there of other stuff related to this. So that's it. Let's get to building. Have a good one. Bye-bye.